Hi everyone. So today I want to harvest Evening Primrose, the plant. I had done a garden tour where I said, I think I know what this is. I think swamp rose mallow is what I said, and that was wrong. It's Evening Primrose. These plants get pretty tall. There's another one right there, and then there's a bunch more back off screen that you can't see. All of these little pods are seed pods. Which that's just like one stalk. There's like two other stalks, another stalk. Like it's tons of seed pods just on one plant. And that's crazy. 'Cause like there's another one down here by my feet where it's just a ton of seed pods. So I have a couple ideas of what I want to do with this plant. One's a crazy idea because, come on now, I'm gonna be a crazy person. But when you get like Evening Primrose oil at stores, it's extracted from the seeds. So do you see where I'm going with this? I would like to try that. Because in my head I thought I wouldn't have possibly enough seeds, which maybe I don't, but still, all those seed pods, I bet I could probably at least get a teaspoon and try it. But I don't have a still or anything, so it'll be interesting to see how that project goes. But I was thinking I would just harvest some of the leaves. It's supposed to help with lung respiratory issues. I'm on day 2 of quitting smoking, so yay. But also, like, if I could help start pushing things out of my lungs, that'd be great. But when it comes to harvesting the seed pods, you gotta wait for them to start drying up, and right as they're about to, like, I believe it said as soon as they start to turn brown, part of it starts to turn brown, that's when you want to harvest it, so then you can get the seeds at the right harvest time. So I'm also realizing that I didn't actually bring anything out here with me, which that's kind of stupid of me. I don't know what I was thinking to be like, oh yeah. So I'm just gonna do the classic make your shirt into a bowl situation. A lot of people were like cutting it and then ripping the leaves off that way, but if I'm wanting to leave the leaves or the seed pads on there for a little bit longer, like I'm gonna have to hand pick these. You can also pick the flowers, which they smell like something from the 90s. I don't know what I'm thinking of from the 90s. They smell delightful, but it's bringing back like 90s. So we moved to the back of my garden where there's more, and I feel like maybe not as ate up leaves possibly on this plant. Fingers crossed. So we're just gonna pick some more of these. Interestingly, they talked about how these flowers only bloom in the evening time frame. Which part of me just doesn't believe that, because every day I've came out here and they've been blooming. So I don't know if maybe I don't know. So can you see that bug? I don't know what that bug is. I definitely thought it was a spider though. What I don't think it is, but I almost touched it and that was upsetting. Okay, so I have my Evening Primrose leaves that I harvested and the little flowers. And I am going to rinse these off and get them drying so I can store them properly and make a cup of tea that probably doesn't have dirt on it. Goals. So I'm just gonna try to spread this out into like a nice layer, or like, not a layer, have them all spread out so that they're not ideally touching so they can properly dry. Harvested and some of the flower heads harvested, I'll need to be actively watching to see when the seed pods start to turn brown so I can go harvest those. My friend that I was talking to about how to extract seed oil, hi Rach, she lives down in Florida and she has a still, so it's kind of, we talked about me possibly sending seed pods down to her, so she could make the oil and then send it back. But she was telling me about the conversion of like seeds to oil ratio or plant matter to oil ratio. And I don't know how many seeds I'm actually going to have, so it'll be curious. It's a fun little experiment. So, got this out drying, and, you know, once it's dry, we'll touch back in and make a cup of tea and watch for the seed pods to turn brown. So, exciting things. Okay, so we've had the Evening Primrose sitting on my table drying for a few days, and it's pretty crunchy. I don't know if you can hear that. So I'm just gonna start collecting the leaves and putting it in a mason jar to store it with my other tea leaves. The seed pods still haven't turned brown or showing any signs of turning brown, so can't move forward with that crazy project yet. I feel like you don't have to be delicate with leaves by any means. You can just kind of shove it on down in there. When you go to make tea, you're going to end up sprinkling all of these anyways. So it actually like releases the juices. Or helps release. You want to agitate the leaves when you make tea. So, that's what I'm trying to say. You don't need them. Okay. All right. So we got one whole jar of Evening Primrose leaves, and there's this step done. Okay, so I went out and harvested all of the seed pods of, well, most of the seed pods of the Evening Primrose to where it says that you should harvest it, wow, I don't know, when it's like the dark, when it's starting to turn dark and not the green, or even like when it's started to brown. I feel like I just need to be so much closer. Okay, this seems like this is how we're gonna do this for this moment. The green, it says not to harvest those seeds. You need like more time for it to dry out. But as soon as it starts turning brown, you could start. Oh my gosh. You could start picking those seeds. So, again, I don't know how well I can show this. I don't like this new phone. I'm so sorry. So my plan is the ones that are like super brown, I can probably just, oh wow, yeah, kind of squeeze on the sides and it will all, I feel like we need a close-up of this. I'll harvest these like, oh my gosh, what are my words I'm trying to say right now? I'll harvest these like black ones that are starting to brown, and then the ones that are still green, like completely green and no browning, I might set to the side and see if they still like try to preserve themselves or like dry out while they're inside, or if for some reason they still need to be connected to the plant for whatever reason. But ideally you need to do this and then, oh wow, those, okay. These all green ones even look, oh, maybe not. Alright. Alright. So I think I'm just gonna pick them off this way and then go through and do I have no idea what I'm trying to say. Go through and sprinkle them all into the bowl all at one time and not try to do a couple at a time. So that's what I think that's the plan. My goodness, so sorry that took me a moment to say those words. So, I just can't get, this freaking phone sucks. Potentially it's a seed pod, and it has like 4 quadrants that you can kind of just squish open. And then, should do it in the camera side. And then like these little teeny tiny seeds all come, oops, out of it. It was hard to do with one hand. But there's some seeds. Yeah, I don't know how to show this without getting it like everywhere. Let's see. Maybe this one will be easier to show. Where it's like it's got an opening. Ah. Oh, okay. Okay. So you can kind of see that has like a 4-quadrant opening there. So potentially one seed pod would have this many, which is quite a bit, honestly, I feel like. Finally finished harvesting all of the Evening Primrose seeds, and they did end up drying more just like laying out somewhere in the house. I had them like on a cookie sheet and then a drying rack on top of that, and it was able to work out just fine, and I got a whole bunch of seeds. These are about the size of carrot seeds, if you know that size by chance. But that's like 2 seeds right there that you can just kind of see them. Lots of seeds. It's about a cup worth. I was gonna try to extract oil from the seeds. However, to do that, basically you put the seeds in a blender and you make a mush, and then you put it in a blender, you put some water in it, you make a mush, and then you squeeze it or put like cheesecloth in a filter to let the oils drip out of it. And for about a cup, you might have gotten like half of a tincture bottle worth of it. So this is a cup of seeds. I do not want to waste my 1 cup of seeds on oil. I would rather save all these and plant them all out, or exchange them with other people, or give them away for free. So that's a large thing, and now my dog treats are ready to go in the oven. So 2 seconds. So that's the update on the seeds. I've made the tea now. I've used that same glass that I probably shouldn't. But again, it's a yellowish color. I guess that's on a white background there. So I feel like all green tea has like the same grass flavor is what I want to say, because that's just, it just tastes like as green. I don't know, maybe this is what green tea is supposed to taste like. Maybe at some point in time I should try green tea and have someone who likes green tea try it, and then I can be like, this doesn't just taste like grass, it tastes like green tea. So, yum! But I don't believe I've gone over the medica materia information about Evening Primrose. You can use the roots, seeds, flowers, and leaves. The seeds you express the oil from, and you don't do an infused oil, but you can do an infused oil with the leaves, I believe. Check your own. I'm just a girl on the internet. Do your own research. Year one, you can use the roots, and year one of the plant, you use the roots. Year two of the plant, you use the flowers, leaves, and seeds. I believe if it's a year one plant, it won't shoot up a stalk to grow flowers. So it says that for the roots, you would roast it, lots of water changes, peel and boiled. Peels have a spicy burning effect, so you gotta peel the root before eating it. It can support nervous system. It will calm the system, help reproductive system, relieve PMS pain, and reduce menopausal hot flashes. Can help with lung asthma issues, apparently. Lower blood sugar, help with weight reduction, improve eczema, can help with rheumatoid arthritis, slow progression of multiple sclerosis, help with hyperactive kids, can help prevent hardening of arteries, heart disease, can help cirrhosis of the liver, and can help relieve pain and inflammation. You can use it as an elixir, a tea, a tincture, a poultice, or a tonic. For the poultice, you can use it for bites and burns. The warning that it has is people who have breast cancer that's estrogen related should avoid or limit their intake of this oil. Seizure issues have gamma linolenic acid, GLA. The seeds have omega-6, 3, and 9. Another warning is that it does do blood thinning, blood pressure. It can cause mania. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, you should avoid it. If you're on seizure meds, you should avoid it. Antidepressants, and it can be a serious issue. Talk to the doctor first before adding this into your regimen. You can just eat seed pods. All of it is edible. The dosage is 1 to 15 drops of whole plant tincture up to 3 to 4 times a day, or 1 to 3 teaspoons whole plant infusion per day, 1 tablespoons of ground root plant in honey as needed for persistent cough, 1 to 2 tablespoons ground seed in flaxseed oil per day. So that's the information I have about Evening Primrose. I welcome any other additional information. Again, do your own research. I think it's fun to learn about these things, and I hope you are being careful while playing with wild edibles. Thanks for going on the journey. So I just ended that video, and I've drank more of my tea, and I added moringa to it, a little darker of a color, and I've mixed it in. So where maybe I don't know if I'm taking bigger gulps, or I've gotten more like further down so it's potent, or like the moringa's doing it. Moringa typically, like, it doesn't have a flavor. You just add it to things and it mixes in, and that's cool. But this is now like in the back of my throat, it's like a dry, spicy thing is, I guess, what I want to say or explain that as, where it's like you take a drink and you're like, it's not on fire spicy. I don't know. So that's my update for you. I don't know. Maybe don't add moringa to this, or maybe just like caution as you drink it further.